皆さんまた来てくださってありがとうございます。今日はトランプさんのテネシーでのラリーを乗っけたいと思います。ということで懲りずにまたトランプさん乗っけるんですけど、もうまたこれで2回目食らっちゃったので、今すごく注意しながら乗っけてるんですけど、どこをカットしようかなっていう感じで、今回はね、ただちょっとね、熱気が伝わればいいかなって思って、頭のところと、それから後半はこのトランプさんの今時ないこの公僕としての意識、日本にもアメリカにも、オバマもバイデンも、あと昔日本だと東京都知事の舛添さんなんかまるで自分のお金のように子供の散髪のお金から回転寿司のお金とか旅行のお金とか、そういうものをすごい温泉だか保養地に行ってたとかあったじゃないですか。そういう今のオバマもバイデンもそうなんですけど、その公金、公のお金っていうものを別に自分が痛むわけじゃないから、パッパ何でももう本当に疑問に思わずにどんどん使っちゃってっていうことが多い中で、この公僕として税金っていう公金が税金としてビタ一文血税を無駄にできないんだっていうことで交渉したり、そこをカットしたりするっていう、そのトランプさんのその意識が素晴らしいなと思って、これ本当はこれが当たり前なんですけど、こんなこと表にも出ないし、功績としても誰にも認められないことなのに、こういうことをどんどん削っていって、もちろんこの人は減税もした人だし、もうすごくアメリカ国民全部の需要に応えた人なんですけど、やっぱりこういうエアフォースワンとかそういうことのって交渉して、その既得権益ともう真っ向から戦うみたいな、それは国民のためで、国民はそれをやってることも気づかないのにそれをやり続けてきたっていうことがもうすごい感動したので乗っけてみました。これはバンされないと思いますので、皆さん見てください。どうぞ。
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, and hello, Tennessee, and hello, Mississippi. And now we may have to do it again. Just stay ready. I was told by the best pollsters, the biggest, the best, if I get 63 million votes, I got 63 million votes the first time. We did much better the second time. But if I get 63 million, you have it made. You can't lose. I got millions and millions and millions more than that. And they say we lost, but we didn't lose. 5 months from now, the voters are going to fire crazy Nancy Pelosi. Horrible Liz Cheney. But you're going to get rid of them, you're going to get rid of the rest of these liars and con artists. That's what they are, con artists. And we're going to elect a massive majority of proud America First Republicans. The radical Democrats will be out of power and the rhinos will be out of a job. The rhinos in many ways are just as bad. And the press is in on it. The press is maybe more guilty than them in many ways because they don't want to talk about it. They cancel everything. If you have something, if you have a great event, they don't put it on. If you have a bad event, people in this room, if you have a bad event, they make it like the greatest thing, the biggest disaster in history. When they have a bad event, they don't want to report on it. You see that? Laptop. You see that? No, they don't want to report on it. They won't report on anything bad for the Democrats. We saw that in the election. I mean, how do you get 75 million votes And we had big tech totally against us, and they're crooked as hell. This guy Zuckerberg, what he did, spent $417 million. You know, if you spend more than, I think it's $5,600 for a husband and a wife, you spend $100 more, they put you in jail. $5,600, $100 more, you go to jail. This guy spent $417 million, and it's just fine. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace what they're doing to our country. But we can erase the calamities of the Biden years. All it takes is a House, a Senate, and a president who will put America first. One of the greatest travesties of all is to see a person in the White House who, even after years of political experience, has absolutely no clue how to be the President of the United States. And I hope he has recovered because, as you know, he fell off his bicycle today. No, I'm serious. I hope he's okay. Fell off a bicycle. I make this pledge to you today. I will never, ever ride a bicycle. You know, when I was president, I brought a great skill and experience from a lifetime in business, and I put it to work for the American worker, the American family, and the American taxpayer like no president has ever done before. I mean, just a quick one. Prior to even taking office, when I was president-elect, I was negotiating to save taxpayers over $1.7 billion for the new Air Force One. You know that. They ordered Air Force One. Would you please sign this document? What is it? It's for Air Force One. How much is it? $5.8 billion. I said, that's a lot of money for one airplane. No, it's two airplanes. So, oh, okay, this is great. So they said, would you please sign this? Because Air Force One is actually two airplanes. And I said, I don't like that. That sounds like $5.8 billion for two planes? That's a lot of money. I never heard of such a thing. Who negotiated the deal? The Biden administration. I said, I'm not signing it. Why? Because they don't negotiate good deals. I said, I'm not going to sign it. So I get a call. No, it sounded ridiculous, right? You've been reading the story because it's now a big story. So I refused to sign it. And then the head of Boeing, Dennis, at the time, he called up. Sir, you have to sign this document. We made a deal with the Obama administration. Biden was involved in the negotiation. The Obama administration, they made a deal. Biden was a negotiator, but it was $5.8 billion. I said, nope, got to have a 3 on it. Got to have a 3. Meaning it's got to start with a 3, not a 5. He said, that's impossible. I'm not going to do it. It's okay. We don't have to buy it. We're not going to buy it. Then I said to the General, do you have a cancellation clause? Yes, sir, we do. We have to pay $200 million, sir, we can cancel. I said, $200 million to cancel? That didn't sound like a good deal to me. I said, don't cancel. Let me just do this stuff. Don't cancel. So I said, nope, we're not going to do it. We're not going to spend that kind of money. So the head of Boeing called me up about a month later, and he said, we'll take $400 million off the price. I said, nope, got to have a 3 on the front. He said, we can't do that. We'll take 600, okay? Nope, got to have a 3. A 3! So now, I mean, we already saved $600 million, and I haven't even lifted my ass out of the office, right? Well, I mean, how many people can do that? And there are many of these stories I could tell you, but this is one that's sort of interesting because it's a big story now because now Boeing is complaining that the deal they made with Trump is no good and they want to renegotiate. You believe this? But the end of the story, I said, nope, got to have a 3 on the front. Dennis says, sir, I'll call you back. He got it down to $4.5 billion from $5.8 billion. I said, nope, got to have a 3 on the front of it. He said, I'm not doing it. He actually started getting quite angry. That's why a lot of people don't like me, to be honest with you. But, you know, remember, I'm fighting for you. Sir, he said, sir, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to do it, 4.5. We're not going to be able to do it. That's okay. When you come up with the right number, you're going to call me. It's got to have a 3. Don't call me unless you have a 3. And I forgot about it. 2 months went by. Then all of a sudden I get a call from Boeing. I said, I wonder what the hell that guy wants. You know, after time goes by, you sort of went to the next. I said, what does he want? And he called up Dennis. He said, "Sir, we'll do the deal. This is our final offer for $3,999,000,000. 9,999 cents. I said, "Dennis, you have a deal." Okay, I said, "You have a deal." So I saved $1.8 billion. Think of that. Doing nothing. Phone call. Same exact plan. Not like, oh, gee, let's get smaller versions. Same exact plan. Except I had a nicer paint job, to be honest with you, okay? You know, you have Lockheed, you have Boeing, sort of, you have two. It's not good. We used to have many, but over the years they've been gobbled up, so they didn't have competition. That's not a good thing, but that's what happened before me. And before becoming president, I heard about a certain aircraft carrier. You know that? I've told the story. Does anybody want to hear that story real fast? No? And it's the Gerald Ford. It's the largest ship in the world, I think, the USS Gerald Ford. It's been under construction for many, many years. It was supposed to cost $3 billion. It was up to like $15 billion. And they have things called catapults. You know what a catapult is? That's the steam that blows the plane. And I said to I went on the ship, I wanted to see the catapult, and not the admiral. I didn't care about the admiral. I wanted to see the people, because this thing had a $975 million extra, because they made the catapults out of electric. They made them electric catapults. I said, what about steam? I'd always watch Victory at Sea, right? Boom, the steam goes and the plane goes off. So I got the 5 catapulters. One was named Joey. I said, "Joey, you're the head?" "Yes, sir, I am. I'm a catapulter for 22 years, sir." I said, "What's going on here?" He said, "These electric things aren't good, sir." I said, "Why did they get them?" "Because they don't know what they're doing." I said, "Which is better?" "The steam is much better, sir. It's cheaper, it's better. And I can fix it with a hammer and with a blowtorch." And I said, and the admiral's standing there waiting me to tour the ship, but the ship is a disaster. I mean, it's been in sea trials for years because they can't get the catapult to work. And he said, "There's another problem too, sir, the elevators." "What's with the elevators, Joey?" He said, "They're magnetic. They lift up through magnets." I said, "They should be using hydraulic, right? Like we have on tractors, right? We all have tractors. And we use hydraulic. We don't use magnets, because if the magnet gets a little bit wet, it doesn't work. You can't lift up your corn anymore. You can't lift up the hay. You can't lift up anything." So he said, "We have," and these are the big elevators that lift the planes, 12 planes out of the basement. They're made out of magnets. So I said, "I want to see the architect who designed the plane." He walked into the office, came into the Oval Office. I said, "Have you ever designed a ship before? This is the largest ship in the world." I said to this character, "Have you ever designed a ship before?" "Well, I did a couple, yeah. But this design is a disaster." So I said to him, "What do you think then, Joey? We have to go back?" He said, "You got to go back." $975 million in extras, and it still didn't work. Now, what a shame it is. All because they used people that didn't know what the hell they were doing. One other quick little thing. The tower on an aircraft carrier, it's always in the middle, right, hanging out over the sea. And this one was in the back. And I don't know if you know this, but the hardest thing to do for a pilot is to land on an aircraft carrier, because this is a big thing. But when you're sitting in the Atlantic Ocean with waves and you're sitting in the Pacific Ocean, it may look big, but it's not very big when you're looking down and you're coming in at 300 miles an hour. And it's the hardest thing to do. They moved the tower on an aircraft carrier. They moved it to the back. By moving it to the back, they have much less room to land. And I said, and by the way, where it says ammo underneath the tower, that's not ammunition, is it, to the architect? He said, "Yes, sir, it's ammunition." I said, "You mean to tell me you put the ammunition under the tower where the captain and everybody is?" This is the craziest thing. And I could tell you these stories all day long. All day long. In any event, it's a mess. I never saw anything like it. But I asked Joey one question. I said, "Why did they do it?" He said, "Because with electric, it goes this way, sir. You can do it very fast when it's working, which is seldom." In fact, he said, "If it breaks, we have to send up to MIT to get their 3 most brilliant people to fix it. We can't fix it, sir." And he said, literally, take this glass of water, pour it on top, that's the end of it. And we're dealing with an ocean. Think of how stupid this stuff is. And I have hundreds of stories. But I said to him, "So Joey, what do you think? What do we do?" He said, "Why did they do it?" because of the speed. He said, but sir, it takes us 1 minute and 59 seconds to bring a plane in. By that time, the steam has been built up, and we go boom. So it doesn't help that it goes this way. But this is the kind of thinking we have. We made so many improvements to that whole deal. But I could tell you these stories all day long, like the F-35 story. Saved hundreds of millions of dollars, literally with phone calls.